Samsung might be preparing the most calculated comeback in flagship history. The Galaxy S26 Ultra doesn't just upgrade specs, it challenges how we protect, charge, and even look at our phones. Some leaks sound impossible, others feel risky, but together they tell a powerful story. And once you see the full picture, you'll realize Samsung isn't playing small anymore. Before watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can get notified on daily tech updates. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is not just another yearly refresh. If the latest leaks are accurate, Samsung is quietly redesigning what the Ultra name actually means. Instead of focusing only on raw power and megapixel numbers, Samsung appears to be engineering a phone that feels more complete, more intentional, and more future-proof than any Galaxy before it. And that shift alone makes this device extremely important. To understand why, we need to step back from the usual spec sheet race and look at the deeper philosophy guiding this phone's creation. This isn't about being the loudest or the flashiest. It's about being the most considered. It's about building a device that anticipates your needs before you even articulate them, that integrates so seamlessly into your life that its presence becomes almost invisible, except when you need it to be extraordinary. That's a tall order for any smartphone in 2026, a year where innovation fatigue is real and consumer skepticism is high. Yet, the signals coming from Samsung suggest they're not just aware of this challenge, they're embracing it as an opportunity to redefine their entire flagship strategy. Let's begin with something simple, but surprisingly strategic: the colors. Samsung is reportedly offering 6 color options this year, with 4 standard retail versions and 2 online exclusive finishes. The exclusive colors, pink, gold, and silver shadow, are subtle and elegant, targeting buyers who want something unique without being flashy. Meanwhile, black, white, sky blue, and cobalt violet form the core lineup. What's interesting is that none of these colors scream for attention. They're controlled, refined, and mature. In an era where some manufacturers chase neon, bright hues, or iridescent finishes that look great in a press photo, but age poorly in daily use, Samsung's palette speaks to a different kind of user. This is a deliberate move away from the youthful exuberance of past years and toward a more sophisticated, understated elegance. Samsung seems to be designing the S26 Ultra for professionals, creators, and long-term users rather than trend chasers. That's not accidental, that's positioning. It's a visual language that says, this phone is a tool, not a toy, and it aligns perfectly with the device's rumored focus on durability, longevity, and ecosystem integration. The color choices are a quiet promise this phone is built to last, both in its materials and in its aesthetic appeal. But the real headline feature might be the display. According to early reports, Samsung is introducing a new anti-reflective coating that dramatically improves outdoor visibility and reduces glare. Combined with next-generation ultra-durable glass, the company is essentially suggesting that users may not need screen protectors anymore. On top of that, advanced display engineering could eliminate the need for privacy films and ultra-clear protective layers. Now realistically, accidents will always happen, and cautious users will still use protection. But Samsung pushing the boundaries this far sends a message: they want the S26 Ultra to feel premium straight out of the box, without covering it in extra accessories. The display itself is expected to be a massive 6.9-inch QHD dynamic AMOLED panel with a smooth 120Hz refresh rate and incredibly narrow bezels, creating a near-borderless viewing experience. The corners are more rounded, softening the overall look and improving ergonomics in the hand, a small but significant detail that speaks to a focus on human-centered design. Furthermore, rumors of an under-display front-facing camera persist, which would finally deliver on the dream of a truly uninterrupted screen pin. If Samsung has managed to solve the image quality and brightness issues that have plagued this technology in the past, it would be a monumental achievement, not just a gimmick. This single change would fundamentally alter how we interact with our phones, removing the visual distraction of a punch, hole, or notch, and creating a canvas that is pure, immersive, and entirely focused on the content you're viewing. It's a bold bet on the future of display technology, and if it pays off, it will set a new benchmark for the entire industry. And speaking of accessories, Samsung is finally embracing magnetic technology in a serious way. Built-in magnets across the Galaxy S26 lineup open up a whole new world of functionality. One leaked accessory, a 5000 mAh magnetic wireless power bank with an integrated kickstand, already hints at how Samsung wants users to interact with their devices. Imagine snapping a power bank onto your phone and instantly propping it up for streaming, video calls, or gaming. It transforms charging into something seamless instead of inconvenient. Even if wireless charging speeds don't fully match wired speeds yet, the convenience factor could be a major win. The leak of a full suite of official magnetic accessories, including cases, rings, and chargers, confirms that this is not a one-off experiment, but a core part of Samsung's new ecosystem strategy. Hey, this move is a direct response to the success of Apple's MagSafe. But with a crucial difference, Samsung appears to be integrating this technology in a way that is more open and versatile, potentially supporting the Q2 standard for broader compatibility. This isn't just about copying a competitor. It's about learning from the market and building a solution that fits within Samsung's own expansive hardware and software universe. The magnetic ring inside the phone becomes a silent anchor point, a foundation upon which a whole new layer of utility can be built. It's a small piece of hardware that enables a massive expansion in how the phone can be used, turning it from a standalone device into a central hub for a personalized toolkit of add-ons. Now let's talk about design evolution. For years, Galaxy Ultra devices featured distinct floating camera lenses. It became part of Samsung's identity. But now, leaks suggest Samsung may transition to a more unified camera module. This is a bold move because it changes the visual language of the Ultra series. However, it also improves structural stability and creates a cleaner aesthetic. Rather than looking experimental, the S26 Ultra could look more deliberate and premium. Sometimes design maturity speaks louder than flashy uniqueness. The new pill-shaped island that houses 3 of the rear cameras is a significant departure, moving away from the sharp, angular look of its predecessors toward something softer and more integrated. This isn't just a cosmetic change, it's an engineering one. A unified module is easier to seal against dust and moisture, provides a more stable platform for the complex optics inside, and allows for better heat dissipation from the image sensors during intensive tasks like 8K video recording. It's a sign that Samsung's design team is no longer just chasing a unique silhouette, but is working in lockstep with its engineers to create a form that perfectly serves its function. The result is a phone that looks less like a collection of parts and more like a single, cohesive object. This subtle shift from, "look at me," to "just work perfectly," is perhaps the most telling indicator of Samsung's new confidence. They no longer feel the need to shout their innovation from the rooftops. They trust that the quality of the experience will speak for itself. Zooming out, there's a bigger story here. The smartphone market is more competitive than ever. Consumers are upgrading less frequently, which means every new flagship must offer real, meaningful improvements. Samsung understands this. The Galaxy S26 Ultra appears to focus on durability, ecosystem expansion, refined design, and smarter usability rather than gimmicks. This is a phone built for people who actually depend on their device for work, creativity, and entertainment. It's a response to a market that has grown wary of incremental upgrades disguised as revolutions. The average user today isn't asking for a phone that can run a specific game at maximum settings. They're asking for a phone that won't crack if they drop it, that will last all day on a single charge, that will take a great photo in any lighting, and that will simply get out of their way so they can get things done. The S26 Ultra seems engineered to answer those fundamental questions with authority. Its rumored 6,000 mAh battery capacity is a direct acknowledgement of the demand for all-day, and often multi-day, endurance. The focus on a durable build with refined ergonomics ensures it's comfortable to hold and use for extended periods, whether you're editing a document, watching a movie, or navigating a city. This is a holistic approach to product design, where every element, from the shape of the camera bump to the texture of the back glass, is chosen to serve the user's real-world needs, not just to generate headlines at a launch event. Another key factor is longevity. Samsung has been improving software support year after year, and with the S26 Ultra, expectations are even higher. Better optimization, enhanced AI features, improved battery management, all of these areas are likely to see upgrades. And when combined with stronger materials and a magnetic ecosystem, the S26 Ultra begins to look less like a yearly upgrade and more like a long-term investment. In a world of planned obsolescence, a phone that promises 7 years of security updates and OS upgrades is a radical proposition. It tells the buyer, "We believe in this device enough to support it for the long haul." This commitment to longevity is perhaps the most powerful statement Samsung can make in 2026. It's a direct challenge to the throwaway culture of consumer electronics and a signal that they are building for a future where sustainability and value are paramount. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset at its heart is not just about raw speed, it's about efficiency and future-proofing, ensuring the phone can handle the demands of tomorrow's software without breaking a sweat. This combination of top-tier hardware and a long-term software promise creates a powerful value proposition. You're not just buying a phone for today, you're buying a companion for the next half-decade of your digital life. What's fascinating is that Samsung doesn't seem desperate to impress, they seem confident. The Galaxy S26 Ultra feels like a device built with clarity of purpose. It's not trying to copy trends, it's not overcompensating with gimmicks. It's refining the Ultra identity into something stronger and more sustainable. And that confidence could resonate strongly with users who are tired of flashy but forgettable upgrades. This confidence is evident in every rumored detail. From the restrained color palette to the mature camera design. It's the confidence of a company that has been at the top of the Android game for so long that it no longer needs to prove its technical prowess with every release. Instead, it can focus on the art of refinement, on the subtle interplay between hardware and software, on the quiet details that make a device feel truly premium in the hand and in daily use. This is the mark of a true leader, not the one who shouts the loudest, but the one who listens the best and then delivers a solution that feels inevitable, like it was always meant to be this way. Of course, major questions remain. How big will the camera improvements really be? Will the performance jump be noticeable in daily tasks? Can the new display truly survive without protection in real-world conditions? These unanswered questions are what make the S26 Ultra even more intriguing. Because if Samsung delivers on even most of these promises, this phone could quietly dominate 2026. The camera system is rumored to be a powerhouse, featuring a main 200MP or even 300MP sensor, paired with a 50MP ultrawide and dual telephoto lenses offering 5x and 8x optical zoom. This setup suggests a focus on versatility, giving the user the right tool for any photographic scenario, from sweeping landscapes to distant subjects. The real test, however, won't be in the megapixel count, but in the computational photography and AI processing that sits behind it. Can Samsung's algorithms produce images that are not just technically perfect, but also emotionally resonant? Can they capture the mood of a sunset or the energy of a street scene with the same authenticity as a dedicated camera? That's the true frontier of mobile photography in 2026, and it's where the S26 Ultra will ultimately be judged. In the end, the Galaxy S26 Ultra might not be about shocking innovation. It might be about intelligent evolution. And sometimes, that's even more powerful. Samsung isn't just building another flagship, they're building trust in the Ultra name. And if they succeed, the S26 Ultra could set a new standard for what premium Android phones should look and feel like moving forward. It represents a pivot from a philosophy of more to a philosophy of better. More megapixels, more RAM, more cores, these were the mantras of the past. The S26 Ultra's mantra seems to be better experience, better integration, better longevity. It's a phone that asks you to consider not just what it can do, but how it fits into your life. It's designed to be a reliable partner, a creative tool, and a window to the world, all wrapped in a package that is as beautiful to look at as it is satisfying to use. This is the essence of a true Ultra device, not one that is the absolute best at everything, but one that is exceptionally good at the things that matter most. As we stand on the brink of its official unveiling, the anticipation isn't just for a new phone, it's for a new vision of what a flagship smartphone can be. A vision that is calm, confident, and utterly focused on the user. If Samsung can deliver on this promise, the Galaxy S26 Ultra won't just be a successful product, it will be a landmark moment in the history of mobile computing. To truly grasp the ambition behind the Galaxy S26 Ultra, we must examine its potential impact beyond the device itself. It's about the ecosystem it anchors. For years, Samsung has sold a vast array of products, from smartwatches to tablets to home appliances, but the connective tissue between them has often felt loose, more of a suggestion than a seamless reality. The S26 Ultra, with its embrace of magnetic accessories and its role as the pinnacle of the Galaxy lineup, appears poised to become the definitive control center for a much tighter, more intuitive Samsung ecosystem. Imagine a world where your phone isn't just a phone, but the key to your entire digital life. You snap on a magnetic keyboard case, and your S26 Ultra instantly transforms into a productivity powerhouse, mirroring its interface to a DeX-compatible monitor. You attach a magnetic lens adapter, and it becomes a professional-grade video camera. You place it on your nightstand, and its built-in magnets align perfectly with a Q2 charger, while its software communicates with your Galaxy Watch to track your sleep, and with your SmartThings hub to adjust the room's lighting and temperature. This level of integration isn't science fiction, it's the logical endpoint of the strategic choices Samsung is making with the S26 Ultra. By standardizing on a magnetic attachment system and doubling down on its own software platforms like One UI and Knox Security, Samsung is laying the groundwork for a future where its devices don't just coexist, but actively collaborate. The S26 Ultra is the brain of this operation, the most powerful and connected node in a network of intelligent hardware. Its success or failure will determine whether Samsung can finally close the loop on its ecosystem dream and offer a compelling alternative to the walled gardens of its competitors. This ecosystem play is also a direct response to a changing market dynamic. As the global smartphone market matures and annual sales plateau, the real growth for companies like Samsung lies not in selling more phones, but in selling more services and accessories around each phone they do sell. The S26 Ultra, with its premium price tag, is the perfect vehicle for this strategy. A customer who invests in a $1,000 phone is far more likely to invest in a curated selection of high-quality, first-party accessories that enhance its capabilities. The leaked magnetic power bank, the various cases, and the rumored camera attachments are just the beginning. This is a classic razor and blades model, but executed with a level of sophistication and integration that makes the accessories feel like essential, not optional, parts of the core experience. It's a virtuous cycle. The more useful and well-integrated the accessories are, the more valuable the phone becomes, which in turn encourages further accessory purchases. This strategy not only boosts Samsung's bottom line, but also deepens customer loyalty, locking users into a Samsung-centric world that is difficult and inconvenient to leave. The S26 Ultra, therefore, is more than a product, it's a strategic linchpin in Samsung's long-term plan to own the entire user journey, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. The camera system, while a headline feature, deserves a deeper dive because it represents the confluence of hardware ambition and software intelligence. A 200MP or 300MP main sensor is a staggering feat of engineering, but its true value lies in how Samsung's image signal processor and AI algorithms can harness that data. The goal is no longer just to capture more light or more detail, but to understand the scene in front of the lens. Future iterations of Samsung's AI-powered photography could involve real-time semantic segmentation, where the phone identifies different elements in a photo, the sky, a person's face, a building, and applies different processing rules to each. This could lead to photos with unprecedented dynamic range, where shadows are lifted without blowing out highlights, and skin tones are rendered with natural warmth and texture. The dual telephoto setup, with its 5x and AX optical zoom lenses, is a clear statement that Samsung is serious about giving users genuine optical flexibility, moving beyond the digital zoom tricks that have dominated the market. This is particularly important for creators and professionals who rely on their phones for work, as it provides them with a versatile tool that can replace multiple pieces of dedicated gear. The ultra-wide lens, too, is rumored to be a high-resolution 50MP unit, suggesting that Samsung is paying equal attention to the expansive end of the focal length spectrum. The result is a camera system that is not defined by a single RAW sensor, but by a balanced, versatile array of tools that empower the user to capture their vision, whatever it may be. This holistic approach to mobile photography is what separates a true flagship from a mere spec sheet warrior. Performance, powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, is another area where intelligent evolution trumps raw power. While this chipset is undoubtedly a beast, capable of handling any game or application with ease, the more significant story is in its efficiency. In a world where battery life is the ultimate bottleneck for user experience, a processor that can deliver peak performance while sipping power is far more valuable than one that burns through a battery in a few hours of intense use. Samsung's software optimization on top of this hardware will be critical. Features like adaptive refresh rate, which can drop the screen's refresh rate to as low as 1 Hz for static content, and advanced thermal management systems that prevent throttling during sustained workloads, are the unsung heroes of a great user experience. The S26 Ultra is expected to run Android 16 with One UI 8.5, a combination that should offer a clean, fluid, and highly customizable interface. The focus here is on smoothness and reliability, on a system that feels fast not because it's showing off, but because it's simply getting out of your way. This is the hallmark of mature software. It's invisible until you need it. And then it's exactly what you need. The performance of the S26 Ultra won't be measured in benchmark scores, but in the frictionless flow of your daily digital life. How quickly an app opens, how smoothly a video scrolls, how reliably a video call connects. It's in these mundane, everyday moments that the quality of a flagship phone is truly revealed. Durability is another pillar of the S26 Ultra's intelligent evolution philosophy. The move towards a more unified camera module isn't just an aesthetic choice, it's a structural one that makes the entire back of the phone more resilient to impacts and scratches. The rumored use of next generation ultra durable glass on both the front and back suggests a commitment to building a phone that can withstand the rigors of real life without immediately needing to be sheathed in a bulky case. This is a direct response to user feedback. For years, owners of premium flagships have lamented the fragility of their expensive devices, feeling forced to cover them in plastic and rubber, thereby negating the premium materials and design that justified the high price in the first place. Samsung seems to be saying, "We hear you." By engineering a phone that is inherently tougher, they are giving users the freedom to enjoy its design as it was meant to be seen and felt. This is a subtle but powerful act of user empathy. It acknowledges that a phone is not a museum piece to be kept in pristine condition, but a tool to be used, carried, and lived with. The confidence to suggest that a screen protector might be optional is a bold statement, and it can only be backed by rigorous testing and a belief in the quality of their own materials. If they can deliver on this promise, it will be a major win for user satisfaction and a significant differentiator in a crowded market. The implications of all these choices extend far beyond the S26 Ultra itself. They signal a maturation of Samsung's entire mobile strategy. The company is moving away from the frantic, feature arms race that has characterized the smartphone industry for the past decade. Instead, they are focusing on a more holistic, user-centric approach. They are asking not, "What's the next big thing we can add?" but, "How can we make the entire experience better?" This is a more difficult path to walk, as it requires deep integration between hardware, software, and services, and it doesn't always produce the kind of easily marketable bullet points that drive pre-orders. But it's also a more sustainable and ultimately more rewarding path. It builds brand loyalty, not on the basis of fleeting novelty, but on the foundation of consistent, reliable quality and thoughtful design. The S26 Ultra is the embodiment of this new philosophy. It is a phone that is confident enough in its own merits to be quiet, to be refined, to be an excellent tool rather than a noisy spectacle. In a world saturated with gadgets vying for our attention, this kind of quiet confidence is a rare and powerful attribute. As we look ahead to the official launch, the final piece of the puzzle will be the price. Rumors suggest a starting price in Europe of around $1,500, which would place it firmly in the super premium segment. This is a significant investment, and it raises the stakes for Samsung considerably. At this price point, the S26 Ultra isn't just competing with other Android flagships, it's competing with the idea of buying a new phone at all. It must justify its cost not just with its specifications, but with its entire proposition, its longevity, its ecosystem benefits, its build quality, and its user experience. It must convince the buyer that this is not just a purchase, but an investment in their digital future for the next 5 to 7 years. This is a tall order, but one that Samsung seems prepared to meet. The company has been steadily increasing the lifespan of its flagships through longer software support, and the S26 Ultra appears to be the culmination of that effort. By offering a device that is built to last, both physically and digitally, Samsung is providing a powerful counter-argument to the disposable nature of modern consumer electronics. The high price becomes not a barrier, but a statement of value, a declaration that this phone is worth holding on to. In conclusion, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra represents a pivotal moment. It is a device that could either be remembered as a masterclass in intelligent, user-focused design, or as an overpriced misstep in a saturated market. All signs from the leaks and rumors point toward the former. From its refined aesthetics and durable construction to its powerful, versatile camera system, and its role as the centerpiece of a growing magnetic ecosystem, the S26 Ultra feels like a phone with a clear and confident vision. It is not trying to be everything to everyone. Instead, it is laser-focused on being the absolute best tool for a specific kind of user: the discerning professional, the creative, the power user who demands reliability, longevity, and seamless integration above all else. Samsung is betting that this user is willing to pay a premium for a phone that gets out of their way and simply works beautifully for years on end. If they are right, the Galaxy S26 Ultra won't just be a successful product launch, it will be a blueprint for the future of the premium smartphone. It will prove that, in a world of constant noise and fleeting trends, the most powerful statement a company can make is one of quiet confidence and thoughtful execution. The stage is set, the rumors have painted a compelling picture, and now all that remains is for Samsung to deliver on its promise. If they do, the S26 Ultra could very well be the defining Android phone of 2026 and a landmark device in Samsung's storied history. For a closer look at all the latest tech that's shaping our future, make sure to stick around for our next deep dive.